when Allah deceives Muhammad, and you've got all these things you've got, and I'm being genuine here. I'm speaking to you because you're a nice guy, but Muhammad marries a 6-year-old, sleeps with her when she's 9. He's got slaves. He calls black people raisinheads. He marries his son-in-law's wife. He's got multiple wives. Balance that up against Jesus and all the prophecies connected to Jesus and how perfect he was, and he was sinless, and he fulfills all the prophecies in the Old Testament. So now my problem is, if I go and get a scorecard, and I put the scorecard here, and we get some aliens arriving from another planet, and we preach the gospel, and you preach Islam, and we tick off on the scorecard what comports with the Old Testament, the truth, and the New Testament. So 6,500 cross references between the Old Testament and the New Testament, and one that I can find from the Bible to the Quran. The only one I can find in the Bible is Revelation 22, which speaks about if you add to this word, you will have plagues. So the Quran is added to the Bible. So I believe, like you had plagues in Mecca last year, you had locusts in Mecca. So I believe that if you, look on YouTube, just type in locusts Mecca. Last year during the Hajj.
Yeah. I thought you were referring to Asian.
No, you had lots of locusts in Mecca. So for me, you know, when I speak to a Christian, and I hated them all my life until I was 26 years old, I couldn't stand them, and I leaned towards Islam. I really did. More Islam and mysticism, and that's why I was drawn towards Salafists. But I can't find the continuity in the, what are they called, the Sufis? That's why I look at the continuity in the Bible, and I look at the continuity in the Quran, and it doesn't chronologically progress.
But you do understand that you are committing a major logical fallacy, because proving Islam to be wrong doesn't prove Christianity to be correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what we have to do, if you are a genuine truth seeker, is first and foremost to confirm that the scripture you have is the same scripture, the same words that were taught and preached by Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you have then to confirm that Jesus Christ was actually sent from God. Number three, you have to confirm that Judaism was actually a true religion and not a falsehood. So we have many things to do in order to come to the conclusion that, okay, Christianity makes sense, I'm going to embrace it. Now this is just speaking logically. Yeah? Dismissing Islam doesn't help you.
No, I use the same criteria for Islam, yeah? You're telling me the criteria I use to decide on Christianity can't be disproving Islam. I've got to work out the veracity of the scriptures. I've got to work out the continuity. I've got to work out whether it's the same scriptures then as were in Muhammad's time. So I didn't come to the conclusion by opening a book and there's the answer. I had to read many books, and I had to meet many people. But I'm in a personal relationship with God. Okay, but let me finish. So let me go back to this. 200 years before Jesus was born of Mary, you had the canonized version of the Tanakh. So when Jesus was all over Israel, there were copies made. There were copies made of documents, which is why you found. Hang on a sec.
Have you read the book of Jeremiah?
Yes.
What does it say?
Hang on a sec, because every time I start speaking, you ask me another question on another subject. Okay. So let me finish first of all. Okay. So here's my reason why Jesus quotes scriptures. 41 times he alludes to scripture, and 40 times he quotes scriptures. So he quotes Psalm 2, Psalm 22. He quotes I am from Abraham. Jesus quotes these scriptures, and the Jews have those scriptures, and they had them canonized 200 years before Christ was. So when we found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we found fragments of Psalm 22, we found these things, it was evident